name's Matt, I'm from Bedside Books. Just wanted to thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. Welcome to Bedside Books. Super excited to bring you another video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Lockdown around the world seems to be easing. COVID seems to be, fingers crossed, becoming a thing of the past. Life's returning to normal, which means bookshops are open. Yay! Literary fairs maybe starting later in the year. Festivals maybe next New Year, springtime. Getting back to normal, so that'll be good. Hopefully I'll be able to get out and do some videos out and about, check out some of the bookstores that I visit around the country. So I'm super excited about that. At the moment, the book I'm reading is Yearbook by Seth Rogen. Fantastic bright cover there. Writer, comedian, actor, has produced some of his own movies. These are just a collection of essays from his time in Hollywood and growing up in and around the movie business. I'm only in chapter 1 at the moment, so I can't give you a great rundown, but so far it has actually made me laugh and chuckle out loud. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but yeah, so it's a good book, so check it out. Yearbook by Seth Rogen. I did a video about 3 months ago about the things that got me into reading. Now, when I was a child, I didn't read a lot of books, but I did used to enjoy the old war comics. I did a video about this about 3 months ago, so if you go back, scroll back through YouTube videos, you'll see me talking about Commando war comics. And then when I got to about 8, I kind of fell out of books, really. I fell out of reading, wasn't really interested in being indoors, so I spent a lot of time outdoors on my bike and larking around the countryside and getting up to mischief in woodlands and climbing trees and doing the sort of things that, you know, young children should be doing. And then it was really when I was about 11 that I started getting back into reading. And I'm just going to talk about some of the books that I read growing up, mainly in my sort of teenage years. Super excited to hear about what kind of books you used to read growing up. If you want to leave me some comments down below, if you've got the books themselves and you want to take some photos of the books you've read as a child, that'd be even better. I'd love it. But I'm just going to talk about, I was going to say 3 books, but technically it's 4. But you'll see in the middle why I've said 3 and not 4, or 4 and not 3. I'll get to it. First book, when I was about 10, Clive King's Stig of the Dump. If you grew up in England around the 70s and 80s, you'll probably be familiar with Stig of the Dump. I don't know whether it came out in the US or Canada or anywhere else in the world. I think so. But when I was about 11, this was really one of my favourite books. Pretty much because I resonated with the character. I sympathised with the young boy being bullied at school and escaping into the countryside and larking around in chalk pits and having imaginary friends and adventures kind of thing. This is all about a young guy, a fantasy adventure book about a young boy who larks around in chalk pits and dumps, getting up to mischief, and he finds a caveman called Stig. And it's all about their adventures and growing up. It's coming of age sort of book, really. A little bit of time travel kind of weirdness going on. It's a great book. If you know of any children that are sort of 10 years old, around about that sort of age limit, then always best to give them a copy of this, I think. And it's, it was a really good read. Then when I was about 12, 13, I won a writing competition at school. And for winning the competition, I got a £10 gift voucher for a well-known high street newsagent stroke bookseller. And like most of the teachers, my parents assumed that I would spend the voucher on buying books about Enid Blyton or the Famous Five, the Hardy Boys, something like that. I was not a typical kid. I was a bit weird even as a 12-year-old. So I decided that I would combine the voucher and buy 2 books. You were asking childhood books? 2 books on the Vietnam War. I don't know why I bought them at the time. But I had to do a presentation at school about what I spent my voucher on. I don't think the teacher was expecting me to give an insightful essay into the horrors of the Vietnam War, told by the viewpoint of the helicopter pilots. So I have to say, out of the 2, I love Chicken Hawk. I still love Chicken Hawk and read it probably once a year, maybe something like that. It is very gripping. It is very what's the word? Descriptive, horrifying. It is, and it also Low Level Hell is also a very good book about the Vietnam War. They both pull no punches at all. So if you're ever in the market for books about war or the Vietnam War, these 2 will definitely serve you well. And then as I grew up, spending more time outdoors, larking around on boats, etc., I sort of started getting a bit of a wanderlust at 14, 15, going on holidays on my own. I took up sailing and went on sailing adventures. When I was 18, I went and sailed 3-masted schooners, but that's a whole nother story. But my next book for growing up was Thor Heyerdahl's The Kon-Tiki Expedition, and it's basically about a group of guys who build a raft out of basically lumps of wood and trees and sail across the Pacific Ocean on what is basically a balsa wood raft. Very good. I loved all the true life adventure books, expeditions up Everest, sailing around the world, climbing up mountains, climbing down caves, sailing on rafts. So that was the 3rd book. So I went from Stig of the Dump to the horrors of Vietnam to sailing across the Pacific. And that pretty much was the type of books I read growing up as a teenager. Again, I'd love to hear what kind of books you read as a teenager. Comment below. If you're interested in following me on future videos, I'd really appreciate some likes, or you can subscribe and the subscribe button. Like I say, now that COVID is lifting, we were able to get out and about a bit more, so hoping to do some videos later this month and going to Exeter. Check out some bookstores in Exeter, so super excited about that. I hope you're well, stay well, look after each other, and I'll see you soon. You take care.